To our first story, Nigerian media personality and actress Lolo has shared her thoughts on the struggles many Nigerians face both at home and abroad, highlighting the tough choices people make due to the country's economic challenges. The actress expressed her concerns about the state of Nigeria, emphasizing how citizens are willing to endure hardship in foreign countries rather than remain in Nigeria. She says, and I quote, "I feel bad for Nigeria," she began. "I feel bad because are the facts not glaring? I don't know much about data, but the data is literally in your face. It shows that we are making the lives of foreign countries easier." Speaking on the large amount of money paid for tuition abroad, she lamented about the skyrocketing prices in the data for schools in just the UK alone. Lola pointed out that despite the difficult living condition some Nigerians face abroad, they still prefer to stay because of basic amenities like electricity, good roads, and functional transportation system, things that remain unreliable in Nigeria. This is because our own leadership has made the country so bad that people would rather suffer there and pay high school fees than be here and have relative ease. There are some people abroad whose life and whose living condition are so terrible and degrading, but they would rather stay there managing, because at the least they are managing where there is constant electricity. So with this particular story has been on for a while. I know I go save at some point made mention of buying data abroad and it lasting for more than a month, and when you come here and buy that same quantity, even higher quantity amount of data, like he made mention of buying just 20 gig, while here in Nigeria, if he was to do the same job he's doing with that 20 gig, that's data won't last for even a month. But he went out and he got 20 gig, and that lasted for more than a month, that he had to even go to his service providers to get more data. Ephraim, I see you smiling on this particular one. What do you make of this whole story?
All right. Once again, thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, you're
and
welcome.
Personally, as a language tutor,
Yeah.
right, I find it personally challenging.
Okay.
So I teach on Zoom.
Yeah.
And in fact, okay, first of all, starting from the whole data stuff, it's very challenging. It's mad because only the fact that you have to buy data, and at some point it seems as though the normal data, Airtel just increase their tariff, MTN and everything. So it's crazy. For me as a language tutor, I find it very challenging. And should I also go ahead to talk about the Lolo story? Of course, it's very true. Personally, for me, we all in this studio, we go like Japa if we get opportunity.
No, not we all. You speak for yourself.
Okay, speak
Yes,
for
actually,
yourself.
speak for yourself. It's key.
Yeah.
No, speak for yourself. Yes,
Okay,
better.
personally,
Mhm.
I would prefer to suffer abroad than to suffer in Nigeria. Now, what do we even call suffering abroad? Well, I know Nigerians abroad really go through a lot of things, right? When some of them who have been there open up to you, apart from the racism, there are different things. But comparing it to what we are going through in Nigeria is dehumanizing.
Okay.
So an average Nigerian is not used to 24 hours light supply. Like it's not used to water. It's not used to a lot of things. So it's already. I was talking with a friend today. I said an average Nigerian needs therapy because we have gone through a lot that, to some extent, it has punctured our way of thinking. So of course, I personally prefer living life abroad and suffering in quotes than suffering here in Nigeria. Because here, what we even call living life is still at the end of the day suffering. Talk about the data stuff. So I have to buy data, I have to consume, I have to buy data of up to 50k because I'm working for, and like I'm using a lot of money to still in something. So it doesn't make sense. But life abroad is cool at the end of the day. I just feel those.
So even if it's degrading, even if it's degrading, I think that's the word. Even if it's degrading, you'd prefer to suffer abroad than to suffer in Nigeria.
I don't see where the degrading comes in. Like
don't see.
Okay, for example, I work in a place where I wash plates. Yeah, in Nigeria they will say I did suffer.
Would you work in a place where you wash plates in Nigeria?
Never.
Okay. I think you should hold your thoughts. Ima, what do you make of this particular story? Ephraim, just remember that Ephraim said he would never wash plates in Nigeria, but if he goes abroad and gets a job, he would wash plates. Interesting.
That's why I said, Ephraim, I respect your own opinion, but that's why I said you should speak for yourself.
Okay,
for me, I think all what Lolo expressed is actually her own feelings, and which arguably is the truth.
Okay.
You get, is the truth because of the state of our government, and it's really challenging for Nigerians. And that is what we are believing as patriotic citizens of Nigeria.
Yes.
You know, we are all believing that things get better. It is still in the same belief that we have to work to make Nigerians better in our own way. Okay, let me say this personally. In my own opinions, things are hard. You know, even as an artist, you know, I just dropped my single.
Okay.
Love Him is all out there in our platforms, and promoting that single it's been challenging as an artist, as an independent artist. It's been challenging because of the economic situations of the country, and if it were in a more developed or more better economy, it would have been easier. You know, there are grants for a lot of things.
Okay.
You know, there are assists from the government. Like here in Nigeria, the government are not even paying attention to creatives. Even here in the state, to the state level, you know, they should pay attention more to creatives. And putting that, you know, bringing that to what the context we are discussing, the topic, you know, it is important for Nigerians to also believe in our dear country.
Okay.
You know, we have to believe, because this Jackpot syndrome has caused a lot of things. It has caused brain drain. It has caused us brain drain. We don't have people that can bring up innovations. These innovations are happening in other countries, happening in China, happening in the US. And because everybody wants to jackpot, everybody's going there. Our talents are going there. The skilled people are going there. You know, it's in the medical section, the creative section. It's happening everywhere. So, this thing about Jackpot syndrome also is a psychological thing. You know, the way Lolo said, was preaching about the foreign advantages, is making a lot of Nigerians also losing hope in the country, you know, losing hope in the economy, and it's not really good for us.
Don't you think the reality of time is what is making them make these decisions? I would go with what he said. That's Ephraim now. See, coming from Ephraim's perspective, now, if you see people wash plates in places, sometimes they tell ladies that their boyfriend take them out, that if he carry you go and he no get money, una go wash plates to make up for the fact that una can't chop and una no get money. Do you get? Now, washing plates in outside the country, washing plates outside the country pays
better
more than somebody who works in places where you even feel like, okay, this is a very big place to work. Don't you feel like the system outside the country is better built in a way to favor, quote unquote, hard work, because that is seen as hard work?
True. See, let me come down to this. Nobody will no good talk say this country no really good the way things are. You get this country, the government no they try. Our government is not trying, and they need to do better. But that shouldn't mean that doesn't mean that all of us should just run away, you know.
Yeah, you are going to say something different.
Yeah.
So I just like to ask him a question.
Yes,
So,
please.
What you're trying to preach
Yes.
right now is that you can still suffer in Nigeria because the
Okay.
team is either suffering abroad
Or suffering in Nigeria. Yeah.
So for you,
Mhm.
Amy, you want to suffer in Nigeria because you are patriotic, because you believe in the home, you have the home spirit.
Yes. Okay. Let me say that. Let me also let you know that every country we don't grow for this life actually face challenges. We have all they all evolved. You get evolution as something we they take time. All of us we they evolve for this country, and Nigeria is evolving. I think that should be a very what I'm preaching is a very we should have patriotic spirit. You know, make everybody no get for this mind. Say we won't run, come on for Nigeria. Then who go stay here for us? By
How do you remain patriotic when the basic things like electricity, like water, like good roads elude you?
Okay, how do you stay patriotic? First of all, patriotism na you have is the belief you have for your country. What do you believe? Do you believe that Nigeria don't finish? Do you believe that there is no hope?
Okay, so
I think
sorry.
I think that it is because we still have hope. Now, wait to make all of us stay here. That's why you are here. That's why you are here.
No, for this particular one, I would actually tell you to speak for yourself too.
Okay.
Because if you say now because you believe, this man here doesn't look like he believes, and that is why he's bold enough to tell you that any opportunity he gets, he leaves.
Go on.
Do you get? So I don't think that's patriotism. I think it's the opportunity. Right, he has not gotten the opportunity yet from where he stands.
Point of correction.
Okay, please.
Point of correction.
Okay.
You did literature in school. I
Okay.
know we all did littérature française. Permit me. Okay, so I believe you can't say patriotism is remaining in your country.
Okay.
It's not. I don't believe that.
Okay.
Reason why I said so, I did literature in school,
Okay.
and black literature, all the guys, name them, Kwame Nkrumah, Nnamdi Azikiwe, they were developed abroad before coming back here.
Okay.
So you can't tell me that if I have an opportunity to japa and I japa, it's I'm not being patriotic. No.
Okay.
I can still find myself in the US, in Canada, in France, and I'm still flagging the nation. But as concerning my comfortability, I don't want to stay home. We are guys, right?
Yeah.
There's a time where you want to leave home because if you stay at home, you wouldn't grow.
Okay.
Okay.
You wouldn't grow. So I love this illustration now.
Yeah.
So you have to go out there. You fight for yourself because there's green pasture outside home.
Okay.
And then when you've made it, you come back home. So you an artist, you know also that if you have an opportunity to push yourself out there in the Western world, Nigerian music sells like crazy in the outside world, right?
Yeah.
So you even see white dancing to music. Sometimes I ask myself, do you understand? So let's not try to personally for me. I'm not even trying to pretend it.
Okay.
I'm very patriotic.
See,
Nevertheless, I will still choose an opportunity to live outside Nigeria, even if the gig I will do outside there is not as professional in quotes as what we celebrate here in Nigeria. I'll still decide to live outside this
let me say something. Am I permitted to?
Sure, go on.
Now I like it when you are bringing it to the music corridor, my corridor. I know. I also know that you're a musician. You know, I love the fact that we are also standing in between. I are standing in two different opinions. It makes it interesting. I want to let you know that it is the belief that Nigerians have for Afrobeat that has pushed Afrobeat global right now. Imagine having that mindset that it doesn't work. You know, our legends like Fela Kuti and name them has pushed so far, and they pushed to a point. But because we believe that the new generation believed in Nigerian music, believed in Afrobeat, they believe that this sound can make it global. Shout outs to Burna Boy, our brothers, Davido, Wizkid, pushing it out there. You know, they have given us hope. Now then don't give us hope now. Say, oh, we go feed push from Nigeria, hit the global world.
Market,
They get now that belief, and that same belief where we suppose adopt in this economic challenge where we they get. They get me. Oh. No mean say I dey talk say I'm so comfortable, everything is all right. No, nobody we dey for this country. We go talk say this country they all right, but you should get that thing in your mind. Still believing that, this country go better, and we should think of solution. Waiting be the solution. Waiting the youth they do concerning this thing. Where they solve, they get not to run be this thing that they solve the case.
Yeah.
What are the youth doing? What are the solution? Okay, the brain drain I talked about. If everybody is leaving Nigeria, you are a language tutor. If you are leaving Nigeria, who go teach the language where you teach for a year? Where who go teach them? If you are not here, if you are thinking the environment is not. One thing about human being is one characteristic of a human being, of a higher animal, is adaptation. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
So being able to adapt to your environment, and during that adaptation, when you adapt, you also change things. You be able to find, when you adapt, you make changes, you evolve.
Some things,
Yes. So if as Nigerians we are able to adapt, of course we don't adapt to whether I like them or not. Of course we don't adapt. Everybody adapt. We they adapt. So now the next step after this adaptation, we would adapt, because all of us never run out. Now to just find way, make solutions, make changes, and now this change, now where we dey, you they get now to take the actions of changes. Now where we dey, now the state where we dey, now we will never take them. Thank you.
Me, I personally feel going to that point, we are not ready for this discussion.
Okay.
Why would you think we're not ready for the discussion?
Because if you want to talk about making changes, bro, the Nigerian youth don't try.
You mean
There's never a time I've not believed in this nation like 25th February 2023.
Okay.
Was it 2023? Yes, it was 2023. Right?
Okay.
Yes. That's the Nigerian election.
Okay.
Every Nigerian youth was outside.
Yeah.
Even children that they didn't even know Jack, but they knew about the Nigerian election.
Yeah.
Everybody was praying. Everybody was. That was when, like, bro, people went and got their voters card. What do you mean that the Nigerian youth has not tried?
Okay.
Who was at the forefront of the 2020 October EndSARS movement? The youth.
Okay.
Who was at the forefront of the last the August was it August? Yes, August last year. End bad government.
Yeah,
and all
end
of those
bad governance.
things. It's the youth. So you cannot tell me, bro, we have tried.
Okay.
So should we give up?
We tried first time, some of us had our loved ones dead. We tried second time, they don't give us listening ears. For those of us in tech, and I know good of my guys in the crypto space, they banned this, they banned that. So
Okay.
I feel that it's like, if rather than fighting for, I would not say lost cost anyway, but as the cost, they say, okay, I'll just end with this proverb. He who fights.
I've taken that out of his mouth. He who fights and
runs away will live to fight another day.
Thank you very much. Let me say lastly.
Okay, yeah, before we move on.
So like you said, we have tried. What is try? Try doesn't end. You try again. And it is in that try again that we are getting it correct. I agree with you. It is February 23rd, 2023 that we had the best, the highest form of youth inclusivity in electoral processes, where we got our voters card and stuff. Let's do that again. Let's do it again. It was the first time. Can we do it again? Can we do that again? It is in this mindset of we don't try. That's where everything they end. That's where everything they crash. Now waiting go make us not to achieve that thing in a long run. But definitely I believe say Nigeria go better. I just believe let's keep trying. That's my own opinion.
So that's your message to the young ones. Let's keep trying. And
Let's keep believing.
let me ask your message to the young ones.
All right, my message is, I believe in a better Nigeria.
Yeah.
But save yourself first. I believe in a better Nigeria, but save yourself first. That's just what I'm